Namaste and good morning everybody. Welcome to the YogaCandi YouTube channel. My name's Candace and today I have an all levels class, which is just a wonderful way to wake you up in the morning, to wake up the full body. So there's no need for any props, but you're more than welcome to have a yoga block if you would like one, especially if you're more on the beginner side. So it's all levels, so it's not going to be really crazy explanations of every pose. So if you really are a true beginner and never done yoga in your whole life, then I recommend looking at my beginner classes. I do have a beginners playlist, so feel free to look at that. So without further ado, let's begin. We're going to start off on our backs in a lovely spinal twist. So come on down, open your arms out into a T shape. And then just wrap your right leg on top of your left, just once or twice, totally up to you, whatever feels more comfortable. And then swivel your hips slightly over to the right, and then allow your knees to fall to the left. Once you're in this twist, try to get your shoulder blades to go down to the ground, especially your right shoulder blade, just opening up into the twist a little deeper. Taking your gaze to the right fingertips and then close your eyes and breathe. Just take deep breaths here. And see if on the exhales, if you can go a little deeper by perhaps just drawing that right shoulder a little further to the ground. Keep your breath nice and deep and slow in and out of your nose. Taking 3 more breaths here. Take your gaze back to the sky, raise your knees, untwist the legs and then twist them in the opposite direction. So the left leg on top this time. Send your bum over towards the left and then drop your knees to the right. Remember, you can wrap your legs once or twice, depending on where your body's at. And try to draw this left shoulder blade down to the ground. Take your gaze to the left and then close your eyes. Keeping the breath deep and mindful. Taking 3 more breaths here. Take the gaze and the knees back to the sky. Uncross your legs, and we're going to take it into a bridge pose. So knees are hip distance, feet are hip distance. See if you can just about touch your heels with your fingertips. And then send your tailbone up to the sky. Squeeze your glutes and tuck your shoulders underneath your body. You can just hold it just like this. If you want to hold it, then you're using some strength. If you would like this to be a restful back bend, then take your block, place it on the highest or lowest level, totally up to you, on your sacrum, so the hardest part of your lower spine, not in the middle of the part of your spine, but on that hard bit close to your tailbone. So you can make this restful or active. We'll breathe into it, or you can do half-half, do 5 breaths while you're resting and 5 breaths active if you would like. Deep breaths in the nose. You can stay here in a restful bridge, or you can remove your block and take 5 deep breaths in an active bridge. So squeezing those glutes, keeping your knees hip distance. Take 5 more deep breaths. And now everybody, remove the block and very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, as slow as you can, hugging your belly button back. And just take the spine down to the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae, no rushing here. Until your glutes touch the ground. And then bend your knees. We're going to take it into a happy baby, arms on the inside edges of the knees, and grab the outside edges of the feet if possible. If that's not possible, grab the outside edges of the shins. In your happy baby, you might want to find a little rock, drawing those knees down to the ground. You can find a gentle rock from side to side, massaging the lower back. Or you can stay still, just drawing those knees to the ground as much as possible, opening up through the hips. An important thing here is to hug your belly button back and to keep your tailbone as close to the ground as possible. Try not to let your tailbone lift too much. Take 2 more deep breaths in your happy baby. Now draw your knees together. Take a grip behind the knees and find a rock with the spine. Maybe you can rock yourself up into a seat. So just play around with this rock here. So massaging the spine, keep the shoulders away from the ears, keep your spine nice and straight if you can as you sit up. And maybe you can catch yourself in a boat pose. If you're a beginner and you catch your boat pose, don't worry if you can't catch it, just come into a seated position with your feet down and lift your feet parallel to the ground, taking a hold of behind the knees. If you'd like to, you can stay here if you're a beginner. If you're more intermediate, maybe let go of behind the knees, maybe even straighten the legs. So now we're going to activate our core, waking up the body. And then find that rock again. Maybe you can catch your boat. Make it a little bit playful, don't worry if you don't manage this. Finding that rock every now and then. Taking your time coming into your boat. And then rock again. Catch your boat if you can. Okay, next rock, we're coming all the way down onto the spine and maybe taking our legs up and over the head into a plow pose. So stretching out the back of the spine all the way down the hamstrings. Try to keep the legs straight. If you can, straighten the back. Don't move your neck, keep your neck still. And then find that rock again. Maybe you can catch your boat once again. Now cross your ankles, take your hands down to the ground and step back onto all fours. Shoulders under, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's take 3 cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch, tuck the chin and the tailbone. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, tucking chin and tailbone. 2 more. Inhale, arch. Exhale, tuck. Into your neutral spine. Let's awaken the core once again. So we're going to extend that left leg out behind you. And then extend the right arm. So you're balancing on the left arm and the right leg. Look down and just hold this. Now take elbow to knee and arch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbow to knee. Follow your breath. Inhale, lift. Taking 3 more. On the last one, just keep it lifted just for a breath. Plant your right arm down, but take this left leg out to the side and plant it in front of you. Move it to the center so that you're in your half split pose. Hands are on either side of this extended left leg. You can stay up tall just like this, maybe even use your block if this is still too intense to lift yourself a little further. Or you can fold over that leg, depending on how stiff you are this morning. Roll it forwards into a low lunge. So the front knee is now bent. The back leg, you need to keep your hips facing forwards and have your back leg extended out behind you. The closer the back knee is to the front foot, the easier the stretch will be. You can come up and just place your hands on your knee. You can stay down low to the ground, getting deeper into that psoas muscle. Or another alternative is to lift your hands up to the sky and make it a little more active, drawing your legs nice and strong towards each other. Taking 3 deep breaths wherever you are. Now plant your hands, shoulder distance, come up off the back leg, step back into a plank pose. Find a little rock in your plank, stretching out those calves. And now let's take a chaturanga. Keep your elbows close to your body. You can go down to the knees if you would like to. And draw your elbows close to the body. Inhale for baby cobra or upward facing dog. Look straight ahead, shoulders go back towards each other. Inhale, lift, downward facing dog. Let's hold our down dog for 3 breaths. Roll your spine forwards and come on down to your knees, back into your tabletop. Let's just take 1 cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch, tuck the chin and the tailbone. Back to your neutral spine. Extend the right leg this time and the left arm. So you're balancing on your left leg and your right hand. Hold it for some breaths. Engage your core, suck it back towards your belly button. Sorry, suck your belly button back towards your spine. Okay, arch and tuck, so you touch your knee to your elbow. And lift, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. 2 more. In, exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, arch, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend and hold. Okay, plant your left hand and start to sway your left leg all the way to the front and to the center of the hands. So you're going to have to move your right hand over to the other side. So we're in our half split pose. Keep your hip bones facing forwards. You can bend that knee if you need to. You can bend it as much as you like. You can come up onto your prop or you can just fold over the leg, depending on how stiff you are today. All right, roll forward, so bending the front knee nice and deep. And just extend the back leg, keep the hips facing forwards, keeping them in line with each other. You can stay down on your fingertips just like this. You can bring your hands to your knees, and send this hip nice and forward, getting deeper into that psoas muscle. Or you can make it more active, sending your arms to the sky, look up. Squeeze your glutes. Okay, frame the front foot. Come up off the back toes. Extend the back leg and step this right leg back to meet the other in a plank. You can find a rock once again, getting into those calves. And then let's take a chaturanga, bend the elbows, keep them close to the body. Inhale, lift, upward facing dog or a baby cobra. And then send your hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Hold for 3 breaths. Step this right leg forward, but keep the knee open. So what you want to do is you want to have this, oops, sorry, dear. Let me show you from the front. You want to have this foot open out to the side. And then draw your knees together and open up through the back foot. So we're coming into cow face pose. Now this is really tough for beginners. So if this is too hard and you cannot sit like this, that's fine. What I recommend is just keeping this right leg lifted just like this and having the left foot bent and the heel close to your right bum, and just sit up tall just like this. This may be more accessible to your body, but if it's possible, draw those knees close together, open up through the feet and sit down onto your sit bones. Now another option is to do full cow face pose. You can stay just like this or in the other variation. Or you can go another step further, taking the left arm up, bending the elbow, taking the fingertips down the back of your spine, taking this right arm, bending it behind you, and perhaps you can grab those left fingertips with your right fingertips. And then keep your chest facing forwards. So this will be full cow face pose. If this is not possible, then take this variation with the legs lifted, and maybe you can just take a little twist looking over towards the right. So those are 2 variations. You can do this, or you can come into the full expression of the pose, full cow face pose. So be where you are today, and we're all going to sit here and take some deep breaths together. Close your eyes and just tune into your body, tune into how it feels. Become aware of the breath. Okay, if you're in the full expression of the pose, just release the hands nice and slowly. Give the shoulders a little roll. You can actually twist yourself out of this very easily by twisting over towards the left. So even if you're in this pose, just place your hands over towards the left, send your tailbone up to the sky and continue twisting all the way to the right. So your legs are now crossed again, but in the opposite direction. Sit down and make sure that your foot is open here on the right side, so the heel is towards your left hip. And again, you can lift this knee, you can keep it lifted and just have the heel close to the bottom knee. And take a little twist, just like this. And this is where you want to sit if this is where you are today. If you want to take the full expression of cow face pose, come on forward, draw the knees together and sit between the feet. Open the feet out, making space for your bum. And if you're in the full expression of the pose, you can either sit here or you can bend that right arm up and over your back, and perhaps take your left hand to meet the right fingertips. Maybe you can grab them. Keep the chest facing forwards. Close your eyes wherever you are, everybody. And let's take some deep breaths once again, in and out of the nose. And release your hands if you're in full cow face pose. Just rotate your wrists, everybody, in one direction, then in the other. And now this time, just guide this left leg up and over the right. Bend your knees and hug your knees close towards your chest. Now find a comfortable seat of your choice, either in full lotus or half lotus, or just a simple cross-legged position. Sit up tall, gently hug your belly button back. Drop your shoulders away from your ears and extend your arms, lock the elbows and take the fingertips out long towards the floor, as if somebody's playing tug of war with your arms. You'll already start to feel a little bit of a pull through the neck and through the shoulders, especially if you're very tight. And now drop your head to the left, hold it there just for a couple of breaths. And then roll your head slowly to the right. Drop your head there, 2 breaths. Now find neck roll slowly, just going from side to side in your own time. Feeling through the tension wherever you may have it. Roll your head back to the left. And then give your hands a little roll. Let's do a little stretch of the palms. So take your hands, spread the fingers, turn them so that the thumbs are on the outside edges of the hands, and bring them down to the ground. You can bend through your elbows, which will make it a little more intense. Perhaps just rock gently from side to side. That will get into the thumbs, down through the backs of the forearms. You should feel a nice stretch. If it's painful, then you may just want to move your fingertips a little further forward in front of you. Just do what feels better for your body. Make sure there's no pain and it's just a nice stretch. Okay, come up off the fingers, give them a little shake out, and then take your fingers again, stretch them out, draw them down towards the ground. So the thumbs are now on the inside edges of the hands, and then just press onto the tops of the hands this time, fingers spread. There mustn't be any pain, and make sure you don't put too much pressure. You don't want to pull any of those little tendons that we have through the hands. So just be very gentle with yourself here. Rock a little bit if that feels good. And then come on off, shake your hands out once again. Change position of the legs, so opposite leg on top, opposite leg in front, just so that the legs don't become too, if you don't end up with pins and needles, is probably what I'm trying to say, too dead. And then we're going to take eagle arms. So cross your left arm on top of your right, either once or twice, and then draw the shoulders down and the elbows down, and this will get a stretch behind your shoulder blades. So just hold this for a few breaths. Unwrap them, open them up, and then wrap the right arm on top of the left, either once or twice. Draw the shoulders and the elbows down and really concentrate on pulling those shoulder blades apart. And you'll feel that stretch behind the shoulder blades. And release. Give your shoulders a little roll. This is the end of our class, everybody. So let's just end it with a nice mindful meditation. Only a minute together. Try not to skip this bit. So sit up tall. Allow your shoulders to fall down. Take the tops of the hands to your knees. Close your eyes and rest your forehead. Rest your eyebrows. Resting those frown lines. Keep the body nice and long, so your head is going up towards the sky. Let's take a moment here to just breathe naturally and to allow your thoughts to pass. And just remember this, that you are not your thoughts. That just like how you breathe automatically, your thinking is also automatic, and it is not who you are. So let those thoughts just float on by. Stay in this present moment, just letting go of the past and letting go of future arrangements or future commitments, being here right now with the breath, remembering that this moment is the only moment that truly exists. All else is in your head. You can stay and meditate for as long as you like. Or inhale, raise the arms to the sky and take a big stretch. Arch the spine, exhale. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, arch. And release. You can sit up and you can bat your eyes open. I thank you all for joining me today. I really hope that this is a really good wake up for your body, that it felt gentle enough to ease you into a little bit of strength with the core, but that it also challenged you a little bit. Perhaps it did, especially first thing in the morning. Our body can feel quite fatigued, especially if you've had a heavy night of sleep or you've had a bad night of sleep sometimes as well. You can wake up feeling a bit achy and a bit not ready for exerting energy. So I really hope this has perhaps started off some energy in your body. And just remember, if throughout the day you start to become too identified with your thoughts, just try to remind yourself that you're not your thoughts. You are beyond the thought. The thought is just an automatic thing that happens to us. It's not who we are. And that this moment that we're in right now is what exists and what actually matters. So if you find yourself thinking, oh, I'm worried about what I'm going to do later, or what did I do yesterday, or whatever it might be, as long as if that thought is not of this moment, let it go. That's one really great way to try to combat stress, okay? So I hope that helps. If you haven't heard those words before, perhaps that's something new and perhaps it can help you today. So if you enjoyed today's class, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys. Leave me a comment, share. Sharing is always wonderful, especially because it helps yoga teachers who do this to grow, which is really fantastic. So if you can do that, thank you. Another thing is I do have a heart button, which is a thank you button. You're more than welcome to leave me a donation if you feel you would like to. So until next time, everybody, have a wonderful day and we'll speak soon.